Hey guys, this is ThatOne Teacher, and on this channel we talk about placement process of companies so that you know how to prepare for your interviews and know what recruiters are looking for in their ideal candidate. So today we'll be talking about placement process of Deloitte. Few of my friends work in Deloitte and this video is based on their experience. So let's start by answering the most important question. What is the package offered by Deloitte at the time of placements? Deloitte offers 7.5 to 8.5 lakhs per annum to candidates from Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges. Plus, candidates from any background, be it BSc, be it BTech, be it BCom, and others, can apply for this company, where they get a chance to work for one of the biggest multinational companies in the world and deal with clients like Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, Boeing, P&G, General Motors, and dozen others from all around the world. So the exposure and chance to work in big projects is really great opportunity that Deloitte offers to the candidates who get selected. The candidate that gets selected will represent Deloitte before their clients. So they are very particular about the people that they hire and look for certain qualities. So let's look at the placement process and find out what qualities recruiters are looking for. The first round is resume submission. Deloitte has its own resume format and wants all the candidates to submit their resume in that format. So only the sections that are important for the company are asked in the resume, which you can see in front of you. So be prepared to explain your work in internships and projects in just few lines, as resume and the score from written test are used for the initial screening. And this is also where a lot of candidates are eliminated. The next part in this first round is written aptitude test, where the aptitude test has three sections: quantitative aptitude, DILR, and verbal ability. The difficulty level was slightly above moderate. The candidates who score maximum in this test and have a good resume get selected in the first round. You can increase your chances of getting selected by mentioning in your resume any preferred requirement that Deloitte mentions in their eligibility criteria. Usually, it is a skill that could be acquired from a short course, or you could do at least a basic overview course in that skill. It would boost your resume and might increase your chances of getting selected. The candidates who get selected from the first round attends the pre-placement talk. Pre-placement session is where candidates are introduced to the company, told about their role, and the clients that the company deals with. Candidates are also encouraged to ask questions to recruiters. Since these are the people who will conduct your GD and interview, it is a good chance to collect some brownie points and get yourself noticed by asking intelligent questions. Some of the common questions asked during the pre-placement talk are on your screen. You can also search about the interesting facts about Deloitte or ask questions related to job role because it will help you get noticed from the crowd. The third round is group discussion. Since Deloitte works in finance industry, the company hires a lot of candidates from finance stream. From my college, almost 25 students out of 60 got selected for Deloitte. Candidates from finance stream should expect a case study during their group discussion, plus a lot of questions from their specialization during the entire placement process. For candidates from other streams like HR, marketing, operations, the GD was more focused on current affairs. So the topics could be: is India ready for cashless economy? Or should the money spent on ISRO and their space mission be stopped and directed towards uplifting the poor? The candidates who could articulate their views in clear and concise manner and present it without unnecessary explanation gets selected. The next round was interview, where the questions were like: tell me something about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? For example, when I was asked about my strengths and weaknesses in interview of some other company, I mentioned public speaking as my weakness. I told how I get nervous when I'm asked to speak in front of people and how this was affecting my chances of clearing group discussion rounds of many great companies offering internships in my first year. So I decided to do something about it. I decided to have mock GDs with my friends where we would get together and discuss about current topics in a similar manner that we have for internship process. And also we gave each other feedbacks on areas where we could improve. So this regular practice reduced my nervousness and helped me gain confidence. And that's how I was able to get selected for a good company for internships. The second question in the similar lines was: tell me about a time when you have failed and how did you deal with it? The intent of both these questions is to understand and find out how self-aware are we. Do we realize our mistakes or shortcomings and acknowledge it? And do we learn and improve from it? Because when we will join the company, we won't be the expert on very first day. We would make mistakes. So it is important that we realize that and correct it quickly before it costs the company a client or loss in revenue. So while answering the question about failure, Choose a story from your internship or your professional career where you were given a task but you made a mistake. Maybe you were asked to pitch to a major client, and when they asked questions about your company's products, you were unable to answer them as you were unaware about finer details. And this created a wrong impression of unprofessionalism. Now that you have realized your mistake, what actions did you take to not repeat it? Like being better prepared about the products and clients' requirements. So, talk about such scenarios where you made a mistake but focus more on learnings. The next set of questions were based on internship and what did we learn from it. Try to answer such questions in quantifiable terms like revenue generated or clients onboarded, as it helps to better understand the impact of your work. If you want to know about how to answer in quantifiable terms, especially when revenue and clients onboarding are not directly related to your work, then check out my video on Reliance placement process where we talk about this extensively by clicking on the I button. Clearing all these rounds would get you selected. Again, remember, they are looking for candidates who would eventually represent the company before their clients and create a good impression. So be professional in your conduct. Interact in precise and to the point without unnecessary explanation. Remember these points and you'll definitely get selected. So this was the placement process of Deloitte. Share this video with your friends who are preparing for Deloitte. Also, if you want to learn about marketing, then check out my video on how Apple uses value proposition to create its service ecosystem by clicking on the I button. This is ThatOne Teacher. Thank you for watching.